I've had to relearn to play twice within 3 years, basically relearn how to play.
Wow.
And I took that time, and this is what I would recommend for a lot of people. If something like that happens, we have to take time off. But when you come back, there's no rush. So you can undo some bad habits you developed your whole life. So and I took a lot of lessons online from like some pretty heavy trumpet teachers, a couple from Alan Mazzuti and Vinny DiMartino, and some of my colleagues here, Jerry Hay, and people like that really talked me through and gave me some things to do. So I thought, okay, I'm just gonna focus on the mechanics and the basics of how to make sound, tone production, and and I think all of that kind of helped me a lot. And I undid some things I used to do. I don't do anymore. I think I'm playing easier now than I was before cancer. I'm playing more efficiently, and I was telling somebody on a 9-line masterclass not that long ago that looking back at when I was like on Maynard Ferguson's band when I was 26 years old. I was 26. I'm a pretty strong player, and I said I'm stronger now at 66 and definitely more efficient than I was at 26. So 40 years ago, I'm stronger than I was. So I learned something through this too. So not everything has to be a negative. You don't have to come out of it wounded. I just kind of put the time in and focused on what I needed to do. And I ask a lot of questions, man. I watch my colleagues play. My friend Rob Shear, who's a younger trumpet player in town here, 44 years old, and one of the finest trumpet players to ever do what I do in this town. I just been working with him the last couple of weeks on a couple of movies. We did The Simpsons this morning, and he kind of helped me and talked about some stuff. And I was sitting with him today, and he was kind of high-fiving me a little bit. He knows everything I've been through, and we had a really good couple of weeks of playing, and so it feels good to be on the other side of this.
Absolutely.
Now I just got to keep my health together,
Yeah.
so I can keep doing this for another few years, And a great teacher, Boyd Hood, who I used to study some trumpet with years ago from USC. I went through another thing I went through a dental thing many, many years ago. And I had my teeth fixed. And anyway, it was quite a struggle for me. And I was at a lesson with him, and I was going, oh, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. And he goes, I have to stop you. He goes, you keep telling me about how it feels. He goes, it's never going to feel like that again. He goes, you're looking for something that doesn't exist. Your teeth are different. And so I would recommend that to whatever injury they've had or whatever, that it's not going to be the same. So that muscle memory they used to have, if they broke their wrist, when it's put back together, it's going to be different. And so that's when you have to start experimenting and getting advice. I know a lot of string players, are into Alexander technique and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that, and a lot of people were suggesting that to me even, when I was going through my stuff. So, but I think that you're going to have to start thinking outside the box because it is different. Totally. And if you keep searching for this thing that's not there, and I go through this with students all the time that have learned to play with a bad habit one way, and it's not working, and I'm trying to get them to do something else because this is not going to work. It's really hard to get off that path. So that's the most difficult part about it, is letting all that go and kind of starting like a beginner almost. I mean, you're not a beginner musician, but you have to forget that feel of what it's a string hand or if it's a bowing hand or whatever, how your arm is moving. And somebody like doing Alexander technique might see something like, sure. Oh, that's, and I think it's really important to follow the sound. Absolutely. On any instrument. Yeah. So if I put the trumpet up to my face and let's say I've gotten my teeth bashed out and I have new teeth now, then I put the trumpet over here, and that's making the greatest sound. That's probably where I'm going to learn to play.
And if it's physically easier,
Yeah. So
that's all you need to know.
Okay, well, I'm following the sound. It sounds best there. So that's probably the most efficient place to be playing. Now, that's probably not really the case, but if your teeth were, like if you had your front teeth went like this a little bit, you're going to be off to the side a little, otherwise you'd have a knife in the middle of your lip.
Right.
So So finding that place that feels good but also sounds good. And I sat around, nothing felt the same for me, especially after the dental thing was probably, out of all those things I mentioned, as sucky as they all were, the dental thing was the hardest thing to come back from because I couldn't feel.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't even have anything to look for. I can't feel anything.
Sure.
So I was having to truly just follow the sound, and I would put the horn up, and this here would be, it wouldn't be mush. And I just have to play a note and go. And it would feel awful here, but it would sound good. And if I tried to, I would twist and try to do all these other things, all of a sudden my sound would get tight and the resonance was gone. So if you follow the resonance, I think, of tone, and a gazillion teachers have probably told you that too, follow the sound.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was a huge thing.
Joan Racy always said that, and play with reverence. And I think, and I think you can find your way. But it takes a lot of patience. It's frustrating. We want it fast, especially if we know how it used to work. A beginner's different, but players like you and I, we know what we could do, and why can't we do that?
Right.
So.
Well, it's that curiosity has probably been the thing that's kept me in the game is learning, oh, this is where I can get to.
Yeah.
And then I wonder how I'm going to get there. And obviously I do that with the help of my teachers and medical professionals as needed and stuff like that. But I feel like that curiosity helps us take the anxiety out of it. It just helps us observe rather than really anxiously try to control everything.
Yeah. And I think just in general, setting shorter term goals, because a lot of times, whether we realize it or not, even though we're struggling through something, we are improving.
Oh, yeah.
So I remember even looking back and going, hey, I couldn't do that a few weeks ago. It was just a little milestone. One of the weird things, like this top note for me, that G, when I was coming back would go. And I had 2 vibrations in here. And so we're getting a double buzz, and I could not stop it. And so because this was weak, and I couldn't make one aperture. So I started thinking about, you got to get this strong again. So I started, my friend Annie Bosler, she gave me some facial exercises to do, which I still do in the car, the different things, but like you pull down and hold, pull up on one side, you isolate all the muscles to get this strong again. And that helped me. I actually got a device. This guy, Larry Mergolano, has this device called the CTS.
Oh, yeah.
Pressure training system. And I talked to him about it a little bit, and I think it helped me because my chops, they were weak. And so I use a mouthpiece and you blow, you basically just do this.
Right.
Use mouth compression, but it activates the embouchure. Between the two of those things, it kind of helped me. So, don't be afraid of it. It is partly physical, it's mental, and it's following the sound and all that, but there's a physical. We have to look at all of it. We have to look at the science that surrounds every problem and figure out how to solve it.
Totally. Hey, thanks for tuning into this episode of Trust the Process, the official podcast of Musician Unchained, the newest coaching program dedicated to helping musicians navigate and overcome injury. But before you go, I have a few quick ways you can stay connected and support our growing community. First of all, I'd love to hear from you. Shoot me a text with the link below and share your thoughts, questions, or just say hi. You can also check the show out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We also would love to see you in our Facebook support group, Trust the Process Podcast Injured Musician Support Group. If you found value in today's episode, consider making a donation to support our mission of empowering musicians worldwide. Every contribution helps us create more content and resources for you, so visit link number 2 below to support the mission. If you decide to donate, I'll send you my newest resource, the Injured Musician Toolkit, which is an ebook designed to give you tools to help you get through your injury. Subscribe to our newsletter to get exclusive insights, tips, sneak previews of episodes, and announcements straight to your inbox. Act now and I will send you a free gift. So sign up at www.musicianunchained.com/newsletter. And if you or someone you know would like to go deeper with me in the topics of injury and mindset, head over back to musicianunchained.com and check out the Let's Hang tab. As always, I want to thank Daniel Baldwin, my audio engineer, and my sister Dana Lovell for her help with the promotional materials. There is no podcast without them. But before I go, I want to tell you how much I deeply appreciate your time and support. You are not alone on this journey. There are musicians and educators out there who need this resource, and we need to get it to them. Together, we are breaking the chain of old habits and thought patterns that don't serve us anymore, and unchaining the potential within ourselves to face each challenge with strength and resilience. So, as I always say, keep on keeping on and keep trusting the process. Until next time.